friends and mimosas. Yeah, it's gonna be bubbly kind of time. Join new friends to relax and unwind. The best food with drinks on the side. Cheers to the good times. It's friends and mimosas.
Cheers. Cheers. Oh.
Cheers. Everyone. How long have you been at the Comedy House?
So I started last July. I graduated in May of 2023. I graduated in film, and the strike was happening. So I was like, oh, perfect. Nothing. And then I one night bumped into a now good friend of mine, Ben Bauman, who he was the one I saw. Yeah, I saw he.
Hey, Ben.
Yeah, I saw him on the show, and I was like, that looks like fun. I want to do that. But I bumped into him at a bar. He was like, yeah, man, I work at a comedy club. And
Thank you.
then he gave me his number, and a month or two later, I called him and started working at the comedy club. And I went in, the first night I went in was an open mic night. So I did the open mic and immediately asked for a job. And because I was like, I knew I wanted to work there, but also I was like, I can't try and work at the comedy club without doing comedy. Without I have to do both at the same time.
You think you're gonna keep going the comedian route more than the filmmaker?
I think, well, I definitely want to it sounds pretentious, but I see myself as a director. That's the avenue that I want to, I want to make movies for sure as the life goal, I guess. But I want to do stand-up. I can see myself being 90 and still do. I mean, I'll probably sit down at that point, but I want to do stand-up forever. I love doing it. Ben called me a hobby comic one time when he found out that I still prefer directing, and I was like, I'm a hobby comic. Blah, blah, blah. So there's still a bit of I don't know. Even though I'm my main thing is making movies and stuff, I still see myself pretty strongly as a comedian. So
you know a couple of our friends and you work at the Comedy House.
Yes.
Right? Ryan Rogers.
Ryan Rogers, yes.
Who's on here.
He's the best.
Hey,
Ryan.
Ben. Troy Duchesne.
Troy Duchesne, yeah. Troy's on my team.
Is he?
Yeah,
Shout
Troy.
out Troy.
Shout out Troy. Troy, a friend of ours, Sean Favorite, and I are going against Ben. And who else is up there? Brandon Haynes and Kyle Robinson.
Wait, Ben and Troy are not on the same team?
I know. They're going against each other.
What?
This Sunday, yeah.
That's unusual, right?
Pitting the dynamic duo against each other. Yeah.
Wow.
But a house divided. Can't stand, so.
And Chris. Hey, Chris.
Hey, Chris.
True?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay. I read that you were a magician.
I put that in my
that a
Instagram bio.
joke?
Yeah, I just thought it was funny.
Do you know any magic tricks?
I did that. I did that. That's what I worked on. I worked on a set. I was a production assistant on a. What you make your finger? I don't know. You can read. Well, actually, so I did that one, and then I did. So I was a PA. All right, I'll take it. I did. I was a PA on. It was reshoots with Big Freedia. I was there. We were there for a day. It was in the middle of the swamp, and it had it was starting to rain, and the weather was getting worse. So everybody was getting nervous, and I went up and I was like, "Hey, Freedia, you want to see a magic trick?" And then I did, I did that. And then I was like this, whatever. And I was like, I'd do a third one, but then I'd have to charge you. And she was like, well, I don't want to have to go get my wallet. So it was very okay, little guy, stop talking to me. I was like, you're right, sorry.
So you write the movies
Yes.
as well?
So I I write, I direct, I act in them, and then I edit them. And it's it's one of those things where it feels good to be able to say yeah, I do all that stuff, all the movies, all me. But but these days it's that's becoming more uncommon because of iPhones and everybody has access to tech now. It's you go to a film festival and that's 70% of the movies that are there are yeah, well, we all did it ourselves, you're not special at all.
Yeah.
Been there.
Yeah, but it's still fun. I love doing it.
Would we know any of your films?
I've done, well, it's all student film stuff that I've made, that I've spearheaded myself. I had my first role in like I'm SAG eligible now. It was called Bone Face. And it is a movie about a like Friday the 13th style killer who's like going around at a summer camp and kills a bunch of counselors in like the first 5 minutes.
A horror movie?
It was a horror movie, and then
I hope it was a horror movie.
Oh, that was a rom-com actually. But then ends up at a diner, and then it becomes like an Agatha Christie style thing or closer to Knives Out, I guess, where they're trying to figure out in the diner who did it, whatever.
Yeah.
And it was so much fun working on it. I got to be, I was the key PA on that and had a small part. So I was one of the counselors at the very beginning that got murdered. So that was a lot of fun.
So you weren't in it that long?
I was not in it that long. I had like my 2 lines.
A comedy show in Ireland.
We were going, and from the moment that it was like, weird, okay, I actually, this is real, like I'm going to Ireland, with friends. It was like, I said on the phone to my friend he planned the trip. I was like, look, I don't care what we do.
The only thing I want to do on this trip is do stand up in this country. We almost did yesterday, and then we didn't.
And it was like, okay, cool. And it was the whole trip. We were looking on the lookout or whatever, and just like none of the cities we were going to be in had a good English speaking comedy scene at the time, or just like XYZ, it just wasn't going to happen. And then the last night we were there, we'd eaten dinner, and half the group went back to the hostel, and then I and some other folks, we were like, oh, let's explore. And then we bumped into a comedy club, and then it was like, please, can I go up? Please. And they told me, you can do stage time if you stand outside and like bark people in. That's my job in New Orleans, is like stand outside and get people to come to the club. So I got to do that in Ireland and find out very quickly, like in New Orleans, my regular shtick is to go like, live stand-up comedy, sorry for yelling, like very obnoxious, and get as many people's attention as I can all at once. And then very quickly in Ireland, they were like, do not do that. We do not like that. The guy specifically said to me, he was like, America is a very stand-out country. Like, you try to stand out, make yourself known. In Ireland, it is not like that. Like, we do not, we're trying to fly under the radar. Even, which I thought was interesting for like a comedy show. Like, if you're performing something and it's like, has that certain roots to it, it's like, to me, that should be part of the promotion. Yeah. But they were very much like, please do not. So I was like, all right, here's a flyer, like, here's a flyer, whatever.
Did you get to perform?
And I got to go up, and it went pretty well.
Ladies and gentlemen, hi, my name is David Culotta. Culotta, yeah, there it is. People often say that I have the physique of one of those inflatable tube guys.
It was just so much fun. And
how did the Irish people take to your humor?
So the Irish are very in tune with American politics, which we did not realize. They like pay, because the way that they described it to us was like, imagine if it was like, instead of all the different countries in Europe, it was like Europe, and there's one guy in charge. It's like, we would all know who that is. Yeah. Like, in the same way that they know, they don't know all the states, if who's in charge of the states, but they know the one guy in charge. And so I had a joke where the punchline is like, blah, 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 Joe Biden. And over there, I said, blah, 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 King Charles. And they were like, ah! And, I thought I was so clever, and like, then I told them, I was like, over in America, I say Joe Biden. And as soon as they heard that, they laughed even harder. And I was like, that's like my go-to story, because that is the best moment of what that stand-up was, it wasn't 100% solid the whole time, but like, there were a few standout moments where I was like, I'm all right, I'm okay.
Do you think you're going to stay here, or are you going to venture out? Or?
I'm here for a bit. I'm, getting my bearings is what I'm telling myself. And I think soon enough, I'm trying to save up and then move out west. Okay. I was never one of those like, growing up, like, I can only make movies in LA, like, I gotta go to LA, whatever. And then after I graduated college, we went over there for like a handful of days as like a graduation trip. And that was like immediately I was like, I get it. I get why everybody comes over here. I get why.
You eventually want to go to LA?
I do. I think I do.
But
I love it here.
Do comedy or filmmaking?
I think
Or both?
priority on film with comedy is the like. See, even just looking for the words, I'm like, I don't want to call myself a hobby comic.
The moneymaker.
But I would hope film.
Okay.
But they're both hard to make money from, but I want to prioritize film just because it's more of like, it's more. I mean, there's nothing like when you tell a good joke on stage and everybody laughs. I mean, that's just a great feeling. But it's more rewarding to me. Like directing is the most artistically rewarding thing that I have figured out how to do, or at least think that I have figured out how to do. A door in the life.
That reminds me of New York.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it does.
Stand-up comedy show at 8 o'clock. Live stand-up comedy, 8 o'clock. Hey guys, we got a live comedy show starting right now. Got a bald guy discount. You're thinking about it.
You ever thought of New York?
I have one of my friends who's in a band and make music videos for them, and I love. We're trying to do another one. I love doing it. They're great, but we have that debate often of New York versus LA, and he wants to go to New York.
They have a lot of comedy in
Yes,
New York.
yes, they do. Apparently, the scene in New York, I think, is like. I mean, I've never been to New York, but allegedly it's very, very competitive and like, but it's more competitive in New York, but in LA, I saw something that was like, yeah, you know, in LA, we've all got 100,000 followers and doing stand-up at the same laundromat, you know, so it's like, I think there's just different expectation out there. I've been, you know, maybe I'll go to New York and then completely my entire opinion will change. I do impressions every week as part of the show.
Oh, wait. Impressions of who?
Like usually it's like inanimate objects. One of them I did an impression of a string, and then I just go like this. It's not very complicated, but it is a lot of fun. But I did 50 like really fast. I don't even know. We talked about setting a time limit, but it was like, Chris, I don't think I can. I don't know how long this is gonna take me. But it was just like we did. Each time I would do one, in the audience would count, and so it was like I did 50 back to back. And it was like, that was one of the there have been very few times where I get off stage and I'm like, that was 100%. Like, that was the best I could have done. And that was the time I got off and I was like, all right, not too bad.
Where do you get your material from?
I was a philosophy major, and I know this sounds conceited, but like, I really like finding comedy in like logic and like contradictions, and like the thing with the string. That's like that was like one of my first jokes, where I'd do the impression of a string, and then I would build up. I'd do, this is a string and a knot, and then this is a string tied to a balloon, and the balloon just popped, and then I would fall to the ground. And like that kind of stuff of like very simple, like I love the idea of doing comedy that can be understood by anyone, and could be theoretically like jokes that could be told by anyone. That said, still mostly working on the jokes that could be heard by everyone and enjoyed by everyone, because so far they can be heard by everyone, but whether or not people laugh, that's what gets you as a comedian. I try to. For a while, like, because there's like this big trend of crowd work right now that's how you get clips and that's how everybody blows up. But for a while, I was just like, I don't care about the audience. Like, this is about me. I have the microphone. You know, who cares what they have to say? But recently, I was at a show, and it was actually I hate that we're talking about Ben so much, because if he found, I love the guy. It's just like he had his time, you know. But it was at a show that Ben was hosting, and the comedian got off stage and Ben got back up and he was like, all right, hey audience, what's up, or something to that effect. And a girl that was like in the first or second row, like I heard her like, you know, and kind of perk up and like, all right. And like, it kind of from that clicked of like, we're on the same team, kind of me and the audience, or, you know, the comedian and the audience, of like, we all want the same thing, for everybody to be laughing. And of like, it was kind of from there where I was like, it doesn't matter if I have the microphone or whatever, or like, you know, you came to see whoever, like, you talk to them, you know, I'm not above it. I can't be above it. Like, there is, you know, you can find jokes there.
Do you have any comic inspirations?
My favorites are Robin Williams, Steve Martin, and Jim Carrey. Those are kind of my guys. If I like the thought of being able to like to go back and forth with one of those guys, or like hold my own, like that's what it's all about. Really, is like being able to get to a point to like where I can feel as funny as it. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, if I could direct Jim Carrey or be in a scene with Jim Carrey, like that's the
Too
thing.
bad he retired.
Yeah, well, he came back for Sonic 3. So
Oh,
I'm
he
hoping
did?
if I can do something as good as Sonic
I thought he
3.
retired.
Well, I think what it was so Sonic 2 came out, and then he was like, I'm done. Unless somebody comes up with a script that's good enough, I'm done. And then Sonic 3 came, and they were like, hey, Jim Carrey. And he was like, well, how much money are you going to give me? That's my guess.
Where can everyone find you?
I think everywhere at The Real D. Culotta. That's social media. In real life, at noon on Friday the 13th, I am right here. Usually I'm at work. You can find me at Comedy House New Orleans. Probably working the door and trying to get on the show. Sometimes I do shows where they book me on purpose. I'm trying to get them to do that more.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, glad to be here. This has been a lot of fun.
We're
Yeah.
going to close with a game.
Okay. All right.
It's would you rather?
Okay.
Would you rather work the job you have now for double the pay, or have 1 year off at the pay you have now? 1 year off at the pay I have now.
I'm going double. I'm going double the money. I could use some cash, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going double.
Double and okay.
Yeah.
I'm taking the year off.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
would you rather be an extra in
Okay.
an Oscar-winning movie, or the lead in a box office bomb?
I'm going the lead. I'm going the lead. Yeah.
Bomb?
I've been an extra in stuff before. And it kind of sucks. It kind of sucks.
They show you, and they did it.
Yeah, it's very
What
like.
have you seen?
What?
What if you would be in the movie and they're not going to cut you, like you're saying, as an extra? As an extra.
Even as that, you get paid more if you're the lead alone. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
But
you'd rather be the lead.
I'd rather be the lead even if the movie fails, because at that point I know, like, you know, I'm still gonna put my all into it, even if it does poorly, and then maybe people see that and go, hey, he's alright. You know, as opposed to if I'm the extra
But what
and
if
then
it's-
nobody.
It's a bomb and no one sees it.
That's true, but now I've got a relationship with the people that run the thing.
That's
You
true.
said
Yeah.
lead and bomb like a fail.
Like, it makes the money,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's a bomb.
So
it's
fail.
Yeah.
Oh, I was in bomb.com.
Oh, like the best ever, yeah.
Oh.
You're like, this is not even a choice.
Give that.
Yeah.
No, it's
Oh,
terrible.
it's a fail.
Yeah.
Hmm. Well, it might be a fail for you, but it might be a win for someone else.
Yeah, like he was saying, it could be connections.
Yeah.
So, you changed my mind.
Bigger and better.
I'm
They-
going
bigger
that
and
way.
better. Yeah.
We can all use
That's right.
connections.
Mhm.
Okay.
That's Sydney Sweeney was in Madam Web, and they were making fun of her because it bombed. And she's like, well, yeah, but now I've got connections at over at Sony, and I made this other movie. And I was like, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
She
That's
knows what
good
she's
way.
doing.
Would you rather watch nothing but Hallmark Christmas movies or nothing but horror movies? We have to do horror, huh? Today, you go home. Are you watching horror or Christmas?
I don't like staying alone by myself, so I would never do horror.
What's during the day and your husband will
Doesn't
be
matter.
home tonight?
I'll think about the movie later.
What?
No, no.
Do you enjoy
There's
horror?
no horror movies you
No,
like?
like Jason and all of them, like Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, today. Yeah.
No.
Oh, wait, today is Friday.
Today's Friday the 13th.
Yeah, you gotta stay aware.
No,
But that's the day to watch them.
I think so.
Yeah.
no. Mm-mm.
That just
Not
reminded
for
me
me.
that I have to go home and watch a
I'll
horror
watch
movie.
Hallmark all day long.
I can only do that during Christmas.
It gets a little boring, but over horror, no, never.
Yeah.
I can't. I sweat.
You're not
I
excited.
sweat. Horror. Okay. No. Oh my goodness. Even Beetlejuice is too much.
Oh, come
Beetlejuice is
on.
too much?
Just like it just like say his name 3 times and he appears. How freaky is that?
That is, Asia, that is.
Okay.
It's a comedy.
It's a comedy. I know, but it scares me.
Let's do it.
No.
Beetlejuice.
Okay,
Granted, if somebody came out of a bathroom,
that would be
oh yeah.
Scooby Doo is
Scooby Doo, okay.
I don't like horror. I can't.
Scooby Doo's a good bar. You know,
Like,
I think the scariest movie that I've seen, like, is part of that was Blair Witch Project.
Yes.
It's just because
I
it
was
was
gonna-
so.
it's so real.
Yeah, I was watching it in the day and I still was like,
that was the scariest, yeah.
And I've seen. Oh gosh, the one where I hate the Grudge.
Oh
The
yeah,
Grudge?
The Grudge, yeah.
My son made me take him to see
She
that.
walks on.
Yes.
Okay. Would you rather be forced to live the same day over and over again for a year or take 3 years off of the end of your life?
I'm so good, how are you?
So like Groundhog
Groundhog
Day.
Day.
Pick the
Groundhog
Groundhog-
Day.
You would
For
pick that?
sure. For
So
sure.
we
Groundhog
keep the
Day.
day.
Only for a year? That's
For a
it.
year.
Wait,
Yeah,
Groundhog
100%.
Day, you want to repeat?
Yeah, like with
No.
Bill Murray.
Oh.
We're
Oh,
saying it would be like Groundhog's Day for a year. You would repeat the same day over and over for 1 year, or take 3 years off of
Can
your
we
life.
pick the day we want to repeat?
Today.
Today. What is that? Today's not bad.
Yeah. You know? See,
It is Friday the 13th,
the,
though.
yeah. The kicker about Groundhog Day is that he's just doing it for years and years and years and years. 1 year. If I go into it knowing I'm only going to be here for a year, that's
And
nothing.
eat dessert.
Yeah,
You
you get
know?
to hang out with us.
Yeah. I could do that.
Yeah.
I'll be all right. Yeah.
Okay, 3 wishes. We're giving you 3 wishes.
Oof, okay. 3 wishes. I'm gonna set the genie free. I'm gonna do that first up.
You setting the genie
So
free.
nobody else gets wishes?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, you
Well,
can't do that.
oh, sorry.
It was his wish.
Yeah.
So
So.
you're saying we can never
Never
get
Well,
three
so
wishes again?
what I'm thinking is if I set the genie free first, then with the other 2 wishes, usually there's like you wish to be tall, and the genie's like, great, boom, and now you're as tall as a mountain, or there's always a catch.
Okay.
I'm thinking if I set the genie free first, and then maybe the genie would be like, you still have your other 2 wishes, and now there's no catch because you let me free. Or maybe I don't get 2 wishes at all, but, and then I'm back at where I was, but now there's no catch or nothing. Like I'm fine.
What are your other 2 wishes?
I'm gonna wish for I don't know. Should I wish for world peace? Something
Yes,
like that,
everyone
right?
does.
Everyone.
Yeah. We have to have world peace.
Yeah. I'll wish for world peace, I guess, and yeah, and some kind of telekinesis would be cool. Always for
Really?
telekinesis. Yeah. Why not?
Okay, I thought you would have been LA or New York comedian or
Oh,
something.
well,
He's
yeah,
got that ahead of him.
yeah. I'll work for that.
Okay.
You know, I'll do the honest way.
It's just
Yeah.
because you just never know.
'Cause then I live my whole life thinking like, could I have done it without the genie?
That's true.
You know.
That's a good point. Cheers to new friends.
There we go. Cheers to new friends.
Cheers, everyone. And where can everyone see you?
Everybody can see me at the real D Culotta, Culotta, and usually at Comedy House, either working the door or begging to get inside, or probably both.
Oh, we don't have food, but we do have alcohol. Some say that's better. David, you're on. Thank you.
Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe, like, comment and share just to show that you care. Friends and mimosas,